somebody to lean on. So that was just coming up as I rang the bell. I'm going to try to get through as much as I can. I'm a little bit backed up. This is Evelyn as usual. And today is the 27th. So I'm going to start with the 26th and the messages I got yesterday. And then we're going to go back and try to finish up from the 12th to the 17th. And there's a little bit in between there too. So we'll see where we get. I really want to finish all of this today to get all caught up. The energies have been a little bit dense. And I brought up last time an activation that was going on with the back of the head, with the visual field. I just did a meditation. And what came up in that meditation was first, it was like a shower head, but with like pointy, it was like a long piece, like a propeller, but it was like two propellers that were pointy on the ends. But it literally was like a shower head in the middle. Literally water came out of it. And then I was seeing a dark-haired man's eye, you know, very close up. It's like I'm just below his eye, and I'm seeing his eye, and it's like he's looking into his lower eyelid from his eye, like looking into his own lid, and I'm just below there seeing this. It was really strange perspective. I don't know if someone literally needs to use eye wash on their eyes. That could be for somebody. And then I was getting Velma from Scooby-Doo, but it was a redhead, so it was more like Daphne, but with glasses, and it was like a combination of the two, as you know, two becoming one, which is interesting because that message just came up, which you'll get in just a minute. The third thing I saw was a white owl. It was mostly white, but it had like a brown forehead into its crest. And then I think it was like around his wings where he was also brown, but mostly white. And then I saw Neanderthal man in the background coming out of a tunnel. It's like, you know, very inconspicuously, like nobody's noticing this because it's way in the background. But he's crawling out of a tunnel where no one is looking or paying attention to. And then I was guided to, my head was kind of tilted a little bit to the right, so I was then guided to tilt my head to the left. And then I just got a big connection. And I was connecting with Serapis Bay, and I was waiting to see what I was going to get from that. And they were just silently watching me waiting, saying, yes, connection is all you need. But I was also getting, then I saw a Black Panther come in, and this one card from the medicine deck of the Black Panther keeps coming up for all the Divine Masculines this week. And here this Black Panther was coming in again, and he was very beautiful, as smooth as silk, and his eyes were like clear and white and dark and brown, but just like a young Black Panther, it felt like, because it was just so fresh and new, very sweet and smooth is the description I was getting. The Divine Masculine coming in from his left, or his Divine Feminine side, as like I said, the Black Panther's been coming in with other Divine Masculines this week, as well as Teddy. And actually that's my card for Teddy, because he likes to hide behind the leaves of the plant, and that he looks like a Black Panther behind the leaves. And the other message is that they think they're hiding in the leaves or the bush, but actually they're seen. So either they think they're hiding and they're being seen, or they're being coy, right? Just trying to stay out of the spotlight. Hiding in the leaves or the bush, yet fully seen, or thinks they're hiding but fully seen, or seeing, now seeing, but by connecting with plants and leaves, so more to Mother Nature. And again, the masculine's guidance this week for me when I'm dealing with other masculines was to tap into their feminine side, like let the masculine side of you just be really simple and ground, and allow the feminine to take over to receive the light. And that came up with at least 2 divine masculines and teddy bears, my daughter's Aussie, who you always see. So so with Serapis Bay, I was then guided to break down Serapis Bay. So Sarah comes up, of course, which is evening in French, and pies, referencing apple pie, but also the symbol of pie, the circle with the line down the middle, or sharing equally. Sophia's era, or evening pies at the bay, or an evening piss at the bay. Seeing or sudden event of rapus, which is a squirrel, or to snatch, grab, or carry off, abduct. And again, Bay is the Lord, but it also means chief, ruler, gentleman, husband, to be and to farm. And Sarah also means to lock or close or shut. We're getting this energy of bolting the door. So I don't know if some of you leave your doors open at night, so maybe you're being guided to bolt your doors at night. But to lock, close, shut, to poop or piss off, and say, never mind. To be, to stand, a bolt to fasten the door, slow, tardy, or too late. Sir, evening, or maybe if someone's late, someone bolts the door and says, that's it, that was your window, and now you can't get in. Sir, evening, to flow, run. And then the funniest thing was, then the definition sulfur came up, and I literally was smelling sulfur as I read sulfur. And then I look over at Teddy and I'm like, Teddy. It's so funny, it just instantaneously manifests. So sir, to be, perhaps to piss off husband, or to see squirrel get away with it. Serap, S-E-R-A-P, means to absorb, borrow, or copy words. No longer separate existence. A mirage, an illusion of a body of water and wine. Serap is also a female Arabic name. And with Serapis Bay is then this illusion of the body of water is the husband, the Lord, the chief to be. To absorb is to be. To see mirage is to be. To farm. The father's room. The digamma or twin flame arm. The female to no longer be separate from the male. It's all a wash, a portal, an oily illusion of when 2 mesh into 1. So that was the message from my meditation just a little while ago. And I'm going to go into the reads from the 26th. This is an earlier read, so this will come up a little bit later in the read. The first read I'm going to do for you is one of my messages of the day reads. But first, there was a very cool read or message that came up prior to that yesterday. And then I'm going to go back to the 12th, okay? All right, so I usually pull like a past life card in the morning just to see what the energies are like coming up. And yesterday I had pulled the father was in the underlying energies, and below that was the arts, and then the male female back to back. The first card out was health and phobias, and then the angels, and then lessons and blessings, and the orphan. And the orphan's been coming up with the child like the past 3 days. Keys and strings, male and female, father and inner child, harmonization, back to back, hand to finger. As the first card out was health and then phobias. The father with health fears as angels watch over the lessons and blessings of the orphaned child, or a father worried about leaving their child orphaned due to their own health issues. And then the card with the 15119 came up, the time, which is the magician, the king of swords, and the 19, which also can represent a Gemini or Virgo, king of swords, son, perhaps, or the father and 2 of their closest messengers, right? The mercurial messengers, which is Virgo and Gemini. The sun, Virgo, Gemini, and this could be coming up as siblings could be coming up here too, and then the odd numbers were coming up, 1, 3, and 5. In a leap to soar past the number 4 in the lambda or lambda father leap, going straight to 5, skipping 4. The Hierophant mastery of the 4. 2, ether and condensate. So then this sequence that I'd been guided to before came up again. The dragon fire was coming up with the unicorn and dry ice, as opposed to just ice or water. And the polar bear energy, or the donkey or the sloth energy, was coming up. I was asking Jenna what something reminded her of, and so she was helping me out with that as well. But the progression that I'd been guided to before had to do with the states of ice, water, vapor, and then plasma, which requires heat to keep it up, and then the Bose-Einstein condensate, which is then something that's a little bit over my head, but I was getting the energy of, as opposed to the ether that requires heat to keep it going, the condensate is like dry ice, grounding it, which lasts much longer. And this was being related to breath, air, vapor, ether. And then the fifth part would be then grounding that ether, or grounded ether, or dry ice ether. And again, along the same parallel as ice, water, vapor, plasma, and condensate, where the condensate is literally the Bose-Einstein condensate. And then also the elements of earth, water, air, and fire, and then ether. So that last column ends up being grounded, like dry ice, condensate, ether. And condensate is the condensed version. But it was all about the fifth here, right? So the fifth state, the fifth state of breath as well, right? Showing you there's a difference here in breath and air and vapor. So in alchemy, Eden is vapor. It's where ether basically starts to come into the human and becomes vapor in order to allow the breath of air. But here is this ether that's not of this realm, which we do breathe in, but now we're pulling it in literally to ground it into this realm, along with this condensate version of plasma from ice, water, vapor, plasma, and then back down to grounding. It's like going up to the soul star chakra, and then to the earth star chakra, right, to ground it all in. And again, ether being the fifth element, but it's really, for me, not the fifth element, but the condensation, or the collective of all four, becomes that ether. So, and then Einstein, the Bose-Einstein is E-I-N, S-T-E-I-N, and E-I-N means one and the same. Also the perineum and the seal, like as a signature on a painting type of thing. Our, us, duck, end, and eyes come up with E-I-N. And then S-T in the middle is the path between these two things that are one and the same. B-O-S-E, and then the I-N with the S-T in the middle, and it's Einstein, and then Stein means rock as well. So you have that one rock or stone, the path of one. And then the condensate, which is the dense at E, which E is the energy or the temple, the one equal and congruent to be human embodied by source. Sophia's temple, the temple in, sweet in. Sophia's one path of one, with S and T representing the two ones around it, of the sine wave in Sophia, and then the T as the top dog on the other side, or the tree, the sign and the tree, which the tree is the sign, right, when it's cut down and made into a sign. The mutable spiral and the fixed channel. The wisdom of Sophia and the love of the anointed Christ, the T, which is the Tau, which came up this week as well in a message, which is the two T's in the pi symbol, where then 2 pi was coming up as well. The T of Tau, which equals the T of 2, and then the G, which is C and T, the little t leaping up to the big T, the leap to 1. As the C equals the colon, because the C is the line, it's the arc between the 2 points, which equals also 1, and the line, the lineage, referencing time to TIME, source me, a space at Sophia's pace or space. Anoint equals 1 not in T, for T equals 2, not 1. As in, we know at source you're 1, but everything else is 2. 2 pi equals 6.28, which is the lovers' twin flames. And then we have the singularity point, the circle with the dot in the middle, which equals the human, the O, and the singularity of the dot. So the circle with the dot in the middle isn't really the singularity. It's because the circle is the human embodiment of source. And here it is with source in the middle. The mother to the divine feminine womb, and the divine masculine must then reach out to Father to complete the circuit, because it's not the same anymore, because we're living beyond death without dying now. So in order to keep up this circuit, where the feminine's already automatically connected by the womb to the mother, the Father must, with intent, reach out to the Father in order to complete the so-called circuit. Okay? Both connecting to their higher selves, one-to-one in the Sophia spiral of that illusion of the portal, right? The oily portal that resonates in suspended animation. You know, like the dominoes going, but the, just that illusionary effect of a portal, like that etheric energy, but going through it and showing the energy of going through it that looks like a tunnel in suspended, suspended in midair. All right, so I had to tell you a quick story about today. I went to take Teddy for a walk, and he had already been on a walk this morning with Jenna, so I didn't have to, but I needed a break because the energies felt dense. I was concentrating on something, and I was too in my head, so I really needed to go out and take a walk, especially if I was going to do a video for you guys. And so we're walking up the street, and in the beginning of the walk, I was just, talking to Source and asking, what I need to feel into right now, why these heavy energies are coming up, etc. And so then Teddy went to the bathroom, and when I went to pick it up, there was a little bird feather right next to that, and I collect my feathers that I find. So that lightened me up right away as soon as I saw the feather. And then when I was finished picking up his poop, I stand up, and there is literally this huge wish just hanging there in midair. It was not coming towards me. It wasn't running away from me like the wishes always do. It was this huge wish, perfectly circular, with all of its little legs out, just hanging right there. And I moved past it. It didn't move. It just stayed there. And I turned around and I'm like, you got to be kidding. I'm going to grab you if you're just going to stay there. It was just standing there waiting for me to take it. And so I brought it home with me. So then I continue going home. And as I'm almost home, my friend is coming home from work, my neighbor, and she stopped to say hello. And I have these in my fingers, and I'm just holding them lightly, because I'll wash my hands when I get home. But I have the wish, and I have the little bird feather in my fingers. And as I'm talking to her, the little feather got lost somewhere. I don't know where it went. It dropped somewhere, but she saw me holding it, so we couldn't find it. She actually got out of her car to help me try to find it. But as we're looking for the little bird feather, I find another wish. And then a second later, there's some kind of paper trash on the street, and it's literally protecting a baby wish. So I had like a mother, father, and baby wish that I brought home with me. I have a picture of it, which I'll probably post on Instagram or something. But I just can't get over the one big wish. It was literally hanging in the air without moving. I've never seen anything like that. So that was really cool. So where are we here? All right, so then the wisdom of Phi, all right, Sophia has Phi in it. And then the wisdom of Pi, which is the circle with the line down the middle, or equal shares, and the ray and the line. So, and again, I've posted before that pi 3.14 plus 4.13, which is the reflection of that. And when you reflect 3.14, it literally says pi, P-I-E. And 4.13 was coming up again as the reflection of 3.14 plus 1.618, which is that golden mean. The three of them added up equals 8.888. But I was getting the visual of the two pies with the tie in the middle. So this is the visual, okay? So there's two pies, and then the phi in the middle, which is like the bow tie. So instead of pi, P-I-E, in the numbers reflecting, it was coming up as T-I-E, as the bow tie in the middle, which then is referencing the hourglass on its side as the middle of the infinity, where the two halves are then shared on either side, the masculine and the feminine, and they come between to make the infinity symbol here. But it was literally coming up as the bow tie here. And then I was reflecting the word bow tie, where it was coming up as, instead of the 4 ones, it was coming up as, instead of 314, it was coming up as 31 plus, because it's the T, and T can convert into numbers, because for me, it's the 3 of the eagle soaring, which is the horizontal, and the 4 of the lambda leap, which is the vertical pillar, so which makes the plus sign. So we have 31 plus, and then plus IE, or 13 if you want to flip the E around. And then it was coming up as WO, W-O-B, but the backwards B, which then becomes this in reflection. So it's the bow on one side, but then W-O, the reflection of B, then makes the butterfly or the transition in the middle of woe and ow. So then I'm getting the twin bridges, right? We have the cycle complete here of lovers 2 and 2 join as 4 and 3 in joy. The twin bridges, right? So imagine twin bridges as the 33 and 44 are coming through here, right? Because the 33 for me is the Christ 4D Anticorona Rainbow Bridge. But the 44 is also a bridge. Here it's coming up, 44 represents the Hercules of her harvest, the Queen of Swords, because the 44 always comes up with 52, Lady Liberty, as in AKA, like their alter ego, and liberty. And then the 33 is the Christ consciousness, and the 40 cross, the crossing of the bridge, or in other words, his consciousness and her harvest meet in the middle, across, a cross. So I'm getting, you have the two bridges here. Think of the masculine and the feminine as their own bridge. But then you have what's bridging is the weaving of the bridge in between them, which is the Christ consciousness. So they're not going back and forth this way, they're going back and forth this way, connecting with source. So as they each connect with their higher self, they weave a bridge between them. Tempering the flame, as in the Knight of Wands in the Ascension deck here, or the SIRIAN Starseed deck rather, sorry about that. And then the Newton's cradle was coming up, because instead of 6 degrees of separation, I kept getting 5 degrees of separation, which references Newton's cradle, right? Because you have the 3 balls in the middle, the one over here and the one over here, which is the pi and the pi, the phi being the tie of the three resonating, right? The sound resonates, the action vibrations resonate through the three balls to create the action on the other side, which are coming up as the three balls in the middle as the bridge of, and the liberty eruption or boom in the boomerang effect. The boom is the liberty and eruption, and the rang is the bell and vibration, with the E in the middle of one equal and congruent to the other. As we have three, instead of 3, 1, 4, it's the plus sign. So it's 3, 1, 4, 3, and 3, 4, 1, 3, which then has 33 in the middle. And if you do the 3, 4 the other way, it's 3, 1, 3, 4, and 4, 3, 1, 3, then it makes the 44 in the middle. So there's those 33 and 44 bridges. And the 34 is the 8 of Wands of the arrows of love, the energetic exchange that weaves the bridges back and forth. And the 3 of Cups is the coming together in joy, or the triangle of joy. And then the 4 and 3 equals 77 of the sovereign. But also coming up here as the 7 and 7, the 2 keys, the 2 boomerangs, the double Dutch boomerang of transformation, the triangulation of the energy flow. Okay, of the 2 bridges, and then the bridge that's built between them. Oh, that was interesting too. When I woke up yesterday morning, I woke up at 51, and then I was really sleepy, so I fell asleep again till 21. And at 21, and I know it was 21 because I realized it was exactly 30 minutes from the first time I had woken up. And then when I opened my eyes again, it was 20. It was prior to 21. So that was kind of crazy. And I know it was 21, absolutely. So there's a lot of interesting time what's the word I want to use? I'm getting a feeling about the word I'm supposed to use. Like a crack. There's a bird waddling across the street. I don't know if it's a crow or something else, but it's so funny. It's just really waddling across the street. I don't know why I had to see that. Maybe waddle is the word that you needed to hear. So they're showing me more in detail, because ultimately what you're seeing with the 2 bridges and the weaving of the 2 bridges is the infinity symbol. Okay? So the Beck is the Bose-Einstein condensate, BEC, is a gas of bosons. I don't know if I'm saying that right. It's at very low densities that's cooled very close to minus 273.15 Celsius, or minus 459.67 Fahrenheit, or 0 K, which is like okay, where then the wave function interference become apparent macroscopically. And the boson or boson, I don't know how it's pronounced, is the particle with symmetric composite quantum states. So it was very interesting because when it stormed last week, there was a lot of condensation on my back door, and the letters L-Z came up and LZ on the same door at the same time. So I looked up LZ, and I wasn't sure what it meant at the time, but then I was guided to look it up with the Bose-Einstein condensate, and it literally goes with it. The LZ is not on this page. Where is it? Well, I'll get to that in a minute. But it's an extension of the condensate, so that was kind of crazy. But again, what I brought up with LZ before is LZ is lose, which can represent like win or lose, but it's L-Z, which dash is 2, L to Z, L to Z. But lose is also that magic bone in the body that is not supposed to be able to be destroyed. So the card that had 151.19, I had written that down, And again, because the King of Swords is 51, and I already brought up the 52 of the Queen of Swords, which is Lady Liberty, that goes with 44, and 44 is Hercules, so then 51 goes with Atlas, which is 36 in the deck, the 10 of Wands. So then we have 33. So where's the 33 bridge, right? If the masculine is 36, 51, and the feminine is 44 and 52, then the 33 bridge is that Christ consciousness bridge in the middle, which makes perfect sense because it's 33. So literally the drawings that were coming up here is this drawing here, where this is, you know, the masculine bridge, the feminine bridge going across as the gate holders, but then the weaving of the two bridges together as one, which here is the independence of the feminine, the independence arc of the masculine, and then here is where it weaves like a stent, the energy of the infinity symbol, but again the energy around it of that suspended animation, like a stent in the air, like the portal. And again the energy of the Newton's cradle, of the one or the other, right, starting the chain of events to go back and forth until it's woven together from both directions. And then the 131 represents that Newton's cradle and the balls. And again, this symbol of 1 and 1 of their separateness, and then the 3 of their togetherness. And notice that it becomes the X in the middle instead of the plus sign. It turns that eighth to dance. So it's all about the 5 here, right? With the 5th state, the 5th element, the 5th breath, the vapor raised an octave, which is 8 path, where 5 is where 1 and 2, having grounded the ether condensate of the ether plasma condensed into fire and ice, or plasma dry ice is what I was getting. And the numbers 5 and 8 are greased lightning, like in Greece. Like, I got chills, they're multiplying. It's literally that energy. The 5 and the 8 of greased lightning, because 5 is freedom and 8 is power. Spirit's connecting with me. The ether, and I always spell it A-E-T-H-R. I'm very well aware it's not the usual way of spelling it, but that's the way I'm guided to spell it, because it's the same letters as earth and heart and all that. So the ether is the ash, in Pleiadian means bright light, according to Elena Danan's book, and the high road, or the infinite of the tiger. The breath is B, wreath, B, ether, earth, terra, T-E-H-R-A, heart, and Rathe, R-A-T-H-E, literally means quickly or Godspeed, now. Breath is to be ether, earth, terra, heart, wraith, right? The quickening of those things. So then when this all settles, right? So if you have the phi energy, that's the coal under pressure to become a diamond. But when that finally releases after that long time of extreme pressure, when it's settled, it becomes the salt of the earth. It becomes grounded into the earth. And then the salt symbol comes up as the circle with the horizontal line. The Knight of Wands is that cool burn, which came up in my post today. The two pies and the phi in the middle, which add up to the 8.888, or the salt of the earth, like coal to the diamond. The pi and the phi then becomes the salt, like just the turn of the lock there. It opens the door. And then, just like when you're putting furniture together, this is the opening of the door, but it locks in at the 8th point, or in the X position, which is the diamond position. It's sweet under pressure. For a long time, it becomes salty, just like Mesopotamia became the salt lakes. And it told us, right here, they were showing me from the salt lakes, right, because now it's barren desert because of the salt lakes, it became all salt, to go back to the bridge and stay there. Again, the antithesis or anti the seas, from the parting of the seas, LOL. The antithesis or anti the seas of the parenthesis or the pairing of the seas, where the antithesis is where the seas are apart and the pairing of the seas is where they come together, the parentheses, which then go through, inside out, through and through each other to become the pi seas, right? Bound together with a cord. And again, the pa and the reflection of that, right, with the two letters here, pa and ap as the apple and the pa. And then the arc of salt and the dry seas, the salt water, and the eyes with tears. From Pisces to Pisces, where the P is the housing, is seas, the sea of the leap, the bridge, the rainbow bridge, which is also the whispering bench, and the arc and the arc and the arch. The housing is the seas, the letter C, and then the actual ocean seas, and then the seas, seeing with your eyes, the eyes with tears, the salt water, the dry seas of the ark, when there is no water. The Christa Sophia and Sophia's Ia. Sophia's EE, or energetic exchange, with Sophia, the feminine on either end. So there's just like, you know how sometimes I show you the letters M, which is 1V1, and then W, which is VV. So the M is co-creation, right? It's two individuals with the V in the middle, which is creation. But the two V's is two creators. So in that same sense, the symbols were coming up the same way, where one is pi, you know, the pi and the pi with the phi in the middle, and then the pi and the pi coming up together like the VV of W, because they're bound together now by the binding in the middle, like the book being pulled together. The condensate is the co-end of JC, which the letters JC also represent the toroidal field with direction, and Sophia at the temple of energy that's one, equal, and congruent to, or the 5, which is the middle. The co-Christed, or Christ to Ed, on the spinning planet that is congruent, which is co-Christed God, which G is also the little t leaping to the big T. It's just saying co-Christed God are you, like Toys R Us, God are you. The congruent, learned grew into giant humanoid talking tree. The giant humanoid talking tree, where, again, here's the example of those letters I was just talking about, right? So the 1V1 is M, and this is W, male, or man and woman. And then here is the example of that with the 2 over here, the 2 creators. But it's coming up as both feminine energy there. So it's interesting too, because when I've drawn the infinity symbol before, where that Taurus is in the middle, they keep their individuality, but the inner half of the circle, they trade places. So they literally both have each other's energy in their field, which is then bringing up the 2 as both feminine energies, because they're expressing their feminine energies, which is what was coming up yesterday about the masculine being moved into his feminine energy to connect as 2 creators, I guess, here. It's very interesting the way it's coming up. And I finished this page at 12:21 exactly. That was really cool. And what is today's the 27th? Okay. So again, just so you see that whole page, it was really cool information. So if you want to see it later. Okay. So detoxes have been coming up as well. I've been looking into a few of those. All right, so the LZ was the Landau Zener or Zener transitions in a spin orbit coupled BEC condensate. So there was an article written about this. The tunable Landau-Zener, or LZ, transitions in a spin orbit coupled with the BEC, or the Bose-Einstein condensate. So they are definitely related. So that was really cool, how I got the LZ in condensation on my back door twice, okay? And then again, that stuff is, the whole article is over my head, but one of the formulas brought up was the X with pi over 2, and then Y with pi over 2, and then the identity gates. And for me, it's just the masculine and feminine. And pi divided by 2 would then be, them coming together would make pi again, right? Because pi divided is then coming back together again. The Raman coupling, the energy detuning, the spin orbit coupling of SOC and potentials for transition, which again, like I said, that was from Science Direct, was over my head. And so I looked up the word Zener, and it means ashes, which again in Pleiadian is bright light. And Landau means carriage, a four-wheeled carriage, which is like the chariot. And it's the kind of carriage where the four seats are facing each other in the carriage. So the carriage is bright light, or the vehicle of bright light, of X 1.57, which is half of the 3.14, and Y 1.57, which then would come together as XY 3.14, sharing equally. And then I was getting that the Y is different from X because it's missing its left leg. Okay, so again, it just comes back to the same examples, right? So pi divided by 2 is when their X and Y are divided as identity gates, so that the weaving could happen, the binding could be created by the Antakarana rainbow bridge in the middle, that Christ consciousness. So I then pulled again the Father card, and beneath it was Monk and Phobias. And literally the 3 cards, I have it here. I think I still have them in order. Maybe not. We'll see. The 3 cards all had different hand positions, which I'm going to see if I can show you here. Okay, yeah, like that. And, oh, Father, okay. So the 3 cards came up like this. You see the 3 hand positions, right? The Namaste, the prayer position, and then the Father's, the finger of God reaching out to his children or grandchildren or whatever that may mean to you, okay? So those 3 cards were coming up in the underlying energy. And it was coming up as, literally when I tried to draw the hand shape to explain to myself what I was writing, right? Because the first one's Namaste, it came up as the heartbeat. And then when I drew the prayer, it came up as the heart. And then I drew the hand holding here. I was getting the dolphin. I don't know, it might be another energy. Maybe you're going to get another energy for the finger holding, which, please let me know in the comments. That would be great. But I was getting the he, the she, the he of the Namaste and the heartbeat and the monk, and she of the pray and the heart and the phobias, and the finger being held by the baby's hand as the dolphin leap of father and child. And again, that same energy of her bridge and his bridge, and then the father in the middle connecting to the child, or us each connecting to source in order to build that bridge together. That's when you two come together, when you have that solid connection with source. The high priestess opens arms and hands to the sky for the community, for forgiveness to happen between trees or families, for the sun to come out, praying for the Father to let the sun out through forgiveness of each other, the mountain versus the tree, and the Father and the little ones. And remember, the mountain, the tree and the sign is similar to the mountain and the tree, right? It's a smaller version. The Father and the little ones, as she prays for them to forgive, right? So the feminine's praying for the Father and Son to forgive each other, right? So the underlying energy of the Two of Wands reverse was without a choice, from 1 to the 3 of Pentacles, where work is coming up as depressing here, laying it all out there to fix an injustice, which is destined here. And then again, I pulled the Empress reversed in the underlying energies, and the first card being the Three of Swords upright, and the Hierophant, the Magician with the Nine of Wands reversed, the Eight of Pentacles reversed, and the Six of Cups reversed. And then the Emperor reversed. The Nine of Swords reversed, the Seven of Cups, Three of Cups, Ace of Swords upright, and the World upright. The underlying energies of the Queen of Swords working with the Empress reversed, coming together in lack perhaps, as the Three of Swords, maybe a disappointment with the system, whether it's a hospital system, a religious system, or the powers that be. The Magician reversed, manipulation, and the surrender to what didn't work out in the past. With the Emperor reversed and suffering in silence or stressed out here by too many options or illusions, and here we have the illusion of the portal, around coming together in joy with the truth to present to the world. And now I'm going to get into my message of the day. All right, so this is the message of the day. It's with the Journey of Love, the Shaman deck, the Fortune Oracle. This is the Nirvana, and then the Rider Waite deck. Okay, the underlying energies here, 3 cards pulled for each, unless it didn't come out, and then the extra cards that wanted to come out organically. I use for numbers and to finish the story. Okay, so actually, since I'm at this point, I want to roll the die, and I'm going to pull a card for you guys too, to see what's coming up after that, because that was amazing information for me. So I hope you can appreciate how I was receiving it. All right, here's the energy for the twins today, which is in the crease here. So it's like in the middle between 7 and 12. I was getting the front and the back. So 7 is the Chariot, which just came up, also Cancer energy, and the Boomerang and the Key. And then the 12 of completion, but also the 1 and the 2 in the Chariot. Okay, so those were like kind of in between. And 7 and 12, they're reminding me of something. Well, July to December is also coming up with that. We have Neptune over here, which is Pisces, which we were just talking about, Pisces. And 7 is Cancer, 12. I mean, the Chariot can be Sagittarius too. We also have the 12 over here, which is the Hanging Man, which is traditionally Pisces, but for me, it's a lot of times Capricorn as well, which is also December. And then we have Taurus over here. So we have fixed Taurus. We have Pisces, which is mutable. And then we have Pisces again, or Capricorn, and Cancer, which are both cardinal signs in the middle. And I'm getting Poseidon too, because Neptune's that Poseidon energy, you know, Ea and Ki energy, which was coming up too. If you watch Elena Denon, you might want to watch her last video, because she definitely made a statement about that as well. All right, let's see here. All right, so for this message, I did want to pull a card. I'm going to the Inner Child deck, yeah. If I can find where I put it. Yeah, here it is. All right. Okay, so the Inner Child. Let's see what comes up for you guys. For the twin flames, for the best and highest good of all those concerned. What is the message here? Best and highest good of all those concerned. All right, we have like 3 cards that came out here. Number 40, which is Ea's number, Enki, Poseidon. You are worthy. You are worth it all, my love. The 25, the Knight of Wands, who also came up as the one with the slow burn, to listen with angel wings. Your inner child has something to say. And then the third card is 30, which is the Four of Wands, or the union energy. And also notice we have the 30 and the 40, which is the cross of the vertical and horizontal pillar. Now is the time to be open and receive. Say yes. You are worthy. Say yes. And in the middle, listen to your inner child, the Knight of Wands. So we have 25, 30, and 40. The next one wanted to come up too, the number 12. Emotions are the reflection. Look for the deeper meaning. Right? So not just the emotion, but where's the emotion coming from? And the bottom of the deck is to become aware. Listen to the wisdom of the body, and there's the big cat. Now I saw a black cat in my meditation, but again, there's still that power coming up regarding the jaguar, the panther, yeah, and then the lion and tiger, the tiger-lioness connection. Become aware, listen to the body, and it's the number 6, which is about love and family, but also the lovers. Okay, so leave that on the side. Let's put these guys up there. You are worthy. Listen to your inner child and say yes. Now is the time to be open and receive as I knock down my love sign. Oh, it doesn't want to stay up. Okay, you're going to stay. Okay, good. All right, so here's the message. The message of the day from those 4 decks. And again, today's the 27th. All right, so they were pulled at, this is on the 26th yesterday, they were pulled at 10, 12, 13, 14, 15, and 15. The numbers came up as 12102 and 53303, or just without the 0 as well, because we didn't get any cards at the end of the Nirvana deck, which is why I pulled the Rider Waite deck. 1212 came up here, and then 5333, which then the 25, the Knight of Wands, is in the middle there, with 121 on one side and 333 on the other, which is, you know, 3 going across the bridge instead of just 2. The 3 eagles soaring. As the 1212 is 2 hanging man, also, or the 1-2 and 1-2 of the divine masculine and divine feminine. And I'm getting the freedom train with the 5-3-3-3. 5 being freedom, and then the 3-3-3 being the train. I'm getting the train of illusion that we were talking about. The 1-1 was space, the Knight of Wands on the bridge to the Empress. 2 hanging men, and again, marrying 3-3-3. The Knight of Swords on the bridge. 1 world, 2 knights in union with the 30/3, which is the 4 of Wands. The underlying energy of the 27 and the etheric touch, the 31 in the hand, the 5 of celebrations, and the mask, and the Knight of Swords reversed, which is 53. The Ace of Wands with new passion, with that light touch, the 5 of Wands, chaos of the heart in the pursuit of happiness, of freedom and commitment, as the divine masculine removes the mask with something to say and holding their tongue. The Queen's Gambit, where heart is in the hand of 5 fingers, and the Midas touch, the light in the box of the rolling stone or path of 1, and present with ash or bright light on top. The underlying energy, which was 10 at 10:29, which is actually my son's birthday. The 54 of the Earth Angel, the 66 of coming together, 64 of sensual awakening, and 46 of just for a moment joy, and then that 27 ethereal touch on top in the underlying energies. The Page of Swords preparing to come together with the Queen of Pentacles in the 64 of the sensual awakening. The bliss with the 6 of Cups, joy, touched by an angel. The Page of Swords and Queen of Pentacles, and the bliss of the inner children, a new passion, receiving a blast of light to the heart. Getting the heart started in blissful moments of opposites, of 64/4 46, which are the two cards that just came up, and then 27, which is 2-7. 2 the 7, and 2-7 is also the Vesica Pisces. But 2 the 7 of the key and the chariot and the boomerang, the Queen's Gambit, the touch of an angel. Where the next first card was at 1038, which is the Wheel and the Queen of Cups, and then it was the Queen of Cups card. The pearl threaded, like a domino effect. The 60 of the Six of Swords, and riding the cosmic wave. The 18 of distant shores, of romance, and bird in hand was also coming up. The Queen of Cups finds peace all out there, romancing under the bridge, about distant shores of resonance and 4 moons, or continued vibrations of this full moon. And that could be going 4 moons through to 11:15. From 8:19 and riding the wave to 9:18, which is then the eclipse, 6 of Cups touched within, connecting the dots to ride the wave, romancing the moon, or the stone, the rock, which came up in the other word, that's heading home. The 55 of the Ace of Swords, of acceptance of the fairy tale, and the 2 of the High Priestess, higher self or divine feminine, that within nothing is everything. The 61 of she loves, she takes that risk to love. And the cards were 55 to 61. And actually the cards, all of the cards, 38, 60, 18, 55, 2, and 61 added up to 2, 3, 4. Shut the door. The 52 of the Queen of Swords, the Ancient One, and the 47 of soft dreams of the pearl. She receives the light, pearls of wisdom, and Agent 99 was coming up, that she's the spy. The pearls and Newton's balls, and the moon resonating in the hearts of woe man. The child of joy covered by an angel, the lady of love covered by self. Acceptance of the empty womb, where she loves herself, allowing the light in, the pearl threaded, and then therefore softening. At 11:01 a.m. there was the underlying energy of the 28 of the hollow bone, 53 of the stranger, 17 of the eye of the needle, and 31 in the hand. The 2 of wands, or twin flame, teachable knight of swords, curious intention and channeling dreams, and cool hand Luke was coming up there in the chaos. The universe is your partner. Passionate twin flames and the knight of swords seal, the electric fingers thinking of diving into his reflection and channeling one of the 2-eyed needle, the heart in hand of 5 degrees of separation, and the pointer finger taken aback by the power of their heart. The next first card was 13 after 31, so there's the reflection of life and death. 13 is death, 31 is the chaos of life of the 5 of wands group. And the dream thief pointing out the fog in the looking glass. And then a gnat showed up, which is unforgettable, at 11:13, which is the alignment with that transition of death or the ultimate change. Refusal in the call, playing with life or avoiding in death. The witches' monkeys have located Dorothy and sprayed the fields. But the pearls of wisdom are obscuring their view, as the 4 of the emperor cat with a twisty spine sees the caterpillar, or cat and the ER pillar opportunity, of the lambda father leap, and the 21 of the world of the first breath, as we talked about breath as well, being the B, the wreath, B the ether, the earth, Terra, heart, and the wraith, the beginner's mind, of Cancer, Scorpio, Aries, and Pisces coming up here, so all water, and Aries, which is where the North Node is right now. The 37 and 40 of the King of Cups and Page of Cups, and now we have all 3 with the Queen of Cups. The Magician and the Mindful Group think. The King of Cups with Excalibur at 11:44, plus 77. There may be a monkey infiltrating here in the group, so be careful. A little imp, perhaps. The 32 on the journey of the jeweled web of connectivity, seen as lights, like the ETs seeing us on Earth, seen as lights, like Christmas lights on a tree. With good news, as the tree is all lit up, due to the seahorse or Pegasus or hippocampus. which also references the horse farm. And water signs, the Queen of Cups and Scorpio and Aries and Pisces and the King of Cups and the Page of Cups, victorious as the lights are turned on. The underlying energy of the 25 Phoenix, the 13 of Goals, and the 22 Mountain, the 5 of Celebrations, the Knight of Wands rising, transitioning to gold at the 5D station of the number 22, which is the Fool. Perhaps of freedom and quick delivery. As Orion is pointed at the moon in Pisces. All right, so I went online to look at what stars were around the moon that night. It wasn't yesterday, but when I first talked about this, which I'm going to go back to that. But when I looked at the sky, where the moon was in Pisces, as the twins, it looks like the twins or Gemini twins above Orion, right? It looks like the twin on the left has literally kicked Mars, Jupiter, and Uranus because Orion's arrow is pointed right at the moon. Okay? So it looks like Gemini, who basically stands on Orion's shoulders, are the twins, that the left twin has kicked Mars, Jupiter, and Uranus like a pool table in order to intercept Orion's pass of their arrow to the moon. As the light gets out and escapes the box, which is good. The cover unable to contain or pretend to be ash. The transition of the Fool to hit the top. At lover's leap to see the light and open up and be freed at last. As the gift in the mountain celebration. And it was funny, too, because there was a movie I watched where the little girl's singing West Virginia in the mountains. And my son's in West Virginia mountains. That's funny. Again, Take Me Home, Country Road. The King of Wands to the Fool's commitment. The 19, then, with the lucky sun. The 34 of unity and the 27 proposal and energetic exchange with linked in. With celebration, luck, and hands in the heart, and rings linked in a passionate proposal. The 12 of the hanging man and the Fool who dreams of love, a dream come true, a present to serious gift. At the mountain, seen from Sirius. I'm just getting a U-boat, but the underlying energies is a boat, and then perception and mask of Noah's Ark, alone in the canoe, underneath the misty full moon, which now this misty full moon was exactly what was being seen in the looking glass by the witches' monkeys. It was literally the same thing. So this misty full moon was what the monkeys were seeing in the looking glass to try to get at, which is why Orion's arrow was pointed at the moon, and why the twins kicked left or pushed the masculines into their feminines, to get Mars and Jupiter and Uranus to intercept that arrow going towards the moon, which is what the monkey was pointing to in the looking glass. The busts, like a statuesque bust, the bust perception, statuesque, next to a pink flower and a branch in a shell or a natural vase. As the mysterious dark man removes their mask, perhaps one who's been searching high and low, and don't forget there was a mysterious dark man in my meditation where he was looking at his under his eye, like with his lower lid pulled out. The rebirth of the egg, okay, or A-OK. And remember, A-OK is the distorted definition of the A-OK symbol is the 666. The egg, okay, it's A-OK, a blue egg with a pinhole, releasing a scent that freed the light from the box. The rebirth and deja vu of reminiscent two in spiritual awakening and coming clean, blowing the crown in a heated exchange with a star, shocked by all the blocks of the road to stardom or dreams come true, as the underlying energy of the world upright with the divine feminine and Pisces moon, because right after Aquarius it went right into Pisces at the full moon, And then Scorpio, both upright and reversed here, or again, the two directions of the bridge. And the King of Pentacles reversed with the Aquarius upright, unsettled and holding their tongue, or clingy and lashing out. After the Ace of Wands reversed and the Ten of Cups upright with the Ace of Swords reversed and the Ten of Pentacles reversed, we have the Ace of Wands reversed, and then the Ten of Cups upright, which is like the Rainbow Bridge, and then the Ace of Swords reversed on the other side. So two aces reversed, like the gates are closed for the Rainbow Bridge. Both gates closed at the Rainbow Bridge, refusing entry of the Knight of Swords reversed on one side and the Ten of Pentacles reversed, dysfunction on the other. Hostage or savings and partnership, and assessing worth of the Two of Cups upright and the Four of Wands upright of union there, and hanging out for a wise perspective with Pisces or Capricorn, unaffected by the aggression of the Libra energy coming here both upright and reversed, or perhaps just all over the place, in a twist of fate and justice upright, finding self-satisfaction with the Six of Cups, loving innocence, and the Three of Cups coming together in joy, as the Queen of Wands is reversed with the Page of Swords reversed, perhaps with a negative message and disillusioned by the Queen of Pentacles reversed, or an exchange of words between them, between the Queen of Wands and the Queen of Pentacles, both reversed, and the Queen of Pentacles then walking away and withholding from the Queen of Cups, and the Nine of Pentacles reversed, again taking it out on the next person, but they also have an angel watching over their shoulder. Seen at the new moon, this angel here, seen at the new moon or early morn at 12:12, with Sagittarius upright and Cancer reversed, recovering and drained, with the sun and the moon both reversed, up all night with no sleep in the day, with Cancer and Leo both reversed, and the Fool free from the silence of keeping quiet around the Page of Wands reversed, perhaps defenseless to the Page of Pentacles reversed, which could also be, two parents with two babies at home. Maybe somebody's had a new baby. And getting over the emotional loss of issues with work and wake-up calls, or just taking call. To the King of Cups upright without good news, grounding and integrating the Page of Cups reversed, or rejection of the High Priestess or higher self, and the Chariot. The silent vehicle, which is the owl, because you can't hear the owl flying, or Pisces or Virgo, and Cancer or Sag, as the Knight of Cups reversed and the Wounded Warrior reversed, are surrendering to a pet, or Leo, or to being strong, or those who miss them. And the King of Swords, with no lover and disappointed at present, or with the ex's gift. The King of Swords, with Gemini in their chart perhaps, separated from the gift of the Empress upright, or mother's love, to fix things and make amends with the Hermit's guiding light, as the Knight of Pentacles reverse is unable to function with long-term pain of the Emperor upright, with Taurus, Virgo, and Aries all upright here, of the Empress upright and the Emperor upright here, with the Hermit stuck mediating the Empress or the Empress's son letting go, while stuck ending pain with the Emperor, who's being charitable or sharing or overworked and not working out or detoxing, stressed out and triggered or overwhelmed with the Queen of Swords reversed, or a breakup with the Queen of Swords reversed Magician or Gemini or Virgo, and the Knight of Wands upright rushing in with a choice for them, perhaps about Atlas and slaving away, or juggling the daily grind of groups and conflicts, and the King of Wands waking or watching along with the world, perhaps a neighbor, the Divine Feminine or Pisces, looking over their shoulder, as the King of Wands is complete and whole, coming full circle in a divorce and or their spiritual awakening and cleaning up the act, when suddenly heated exchange with stars and dreams and healer or dream girl, or constant arguing between Scorpio and Aquarius, or an explosion where a bird took off, and actually a bird hit my window a couple days ago and died. So he's a bit splatted on the deck right now. Or an explosion where the bird took off, or bird hit the window, or multiple birds over and over, and are seeing stars. And again, I had quite a few birds hit the window this one day. I think it was the last time I told you on my video. but I don't know if you've experienced the same. If you want, you can comment about that. So being dead tired with the King of Pentacles reversed, in need of peace and silencing of the lambs. Perhaps the Knight of Swords reversed lashes out, no longer wearing a mask, even if it hurts. Breaking a commitment or a contract or a tradition without rest, cleaning up, and a sudden need to clean the whole house perhaps, or kick everyone out. Or the rug pulled out to create a spring, or testing water at a chemical plant, or watching Aaron Brockovich. Or perhaps a mining event or a movie could be coming up as well. Okay. All right, so now we go back to the 12th. We go back to the 12 of wisdom. And that was a Monday. And that morning, it was 10:51, which is Libra, King of Swords. And I'd pulled the trees, and the first card out was transportation. And that was after Celtic, which was coming up as Celtic salt, and also the LT in between the C and the C, which the LT is the co-sister-in-law or husband's brother's wife. The tree and the sea salt spread. And Joanne also came up, or Joe and Anne. Little and big pyramids, or big brothers, perhaps big sisters too, as E.G., Y, and P.T., the temple of God and the housing of top dog. At 0 Point Field, as the high priestess puts the sparkly hammer down, the egg of gold, or AU, or eggy Aussie, or infinite Aussie. And it's all right to plow and till. So it says plow and till, but it was coming out as plow until. Go figure. The infinite Aussie, or I with gratitude. And there's that eye coming up of the masculine looking in at his own eye. And the eye that I was seeing was his right eye. The Orit, O-R-I-T. So all right was coming up as O-right, O-R-I-T-E. And O-R-I-T is multiple stallions, and stallions is stall lions, and also means clouds, and I was getting the thunder rolls. The high priestess's tool of P-R, I, E-S-T, and E-S-S. Advertising I am, both Esther and Evelyn. East and Sophia. The dawn of wisdom, or forgiveness, for the night. And the dove supporting purification as the ship comes in. The love life and the rose. And I posted these on Instagram too, so you can check them out. They're on Instagram, TikTok, and I've been posting them on my YouTube channel as well. And a few I put on Facebook too, on my Twin Flames 3344 page. The white knight on the cruise ship, quote unquote, brings flowers to persecution and inquisition. The high priestess hung up on the mast, or support, as she is aligning the heart with the bridge pipe, which is the peace pipe, from ship to shore. A suspension bridge. The aqua rose gold mother's heart bridging to the sun through the trees. And the aqua rose gold mother's high heart, as she is the suspension bridge, and the sparkles of 3 days rising. The sea to the tree, the ship to shore, doves on ship as she touches both. The purity of the rose heart and the light of the sun. The risen sun, the Christed from Christ. She anointed him to E.D. or Ed, Mr. Ed. The lambda leap, she anoints his feet. The ago NY of defeat, or the feet, where the angels are at the foot of Lady Liberty to light up the tree. The Atlantean altar there, her right hand holding the heart, and left the light grounding right and leaping left, the salt of the earth, the pie in the sky, right? And then the salt symbol, the circle with the horizontal line, and then the circle with the vertical line of the pie. And you send me was coming up. You send me. The high priestess makes peace. Why am I saying peace? What's peace? Someone might have a lisp, but the high priestess makes peace. I'll have to look that up. What is peace? I don't know if it's P-E-T-H or P-I-T-H-E. I know that's a word because I know I've seen it. I'm not sure what it means though. But what I wrote wasn't peace. It was the high priestess makes peace with her witch, who reflected Jesus on the cross as the horizontal salt symbol and then the vertical pillar pie symbol, which then when they come together becomes the circle with the plus sign in the middle. The intersection, the portal, the node point, where the salt of the earth meets pie in the sky, the earth star and soul star. Oh, I didn't even think of that. And I brought that up earlier too. The earth star and soul star become the stellar gateway, the bridge to source. The love train. When the infinite Aussie, stallion of gratitude, figures into her right hand in Newton's cradle, through her heart to the left hand, dove to dove, as the wind picks up. The wind in the sail and 3 days of rising, or the hanging man twin flame today, connecting through the Christ mass tree. And lung support. The mass anointing of the tree, and that was on the 12th here. The fifth wound. And again referencing a lung wound here, that fifth nail, okay, or whatever was hammered into him. RH and LH as RF and LF, the torso, usually depicted as a wound on the right, where LH means the previous statement is not serious, or light horse or lighthouse. RH is rhesus factor of D, which is in 85% of humans. That's from Wiktionary. Which it lies on the surface of the red blood cells. And the right hand, RH, and the LH, of course, is left hand, and the lighthouse, or, as it came up before, the light horse, and the left hand. Row housing, offered 1-to-1, and the dash in the middle is salt, becoming the salt symbol. 1-to-1 literally is salt. You're 1-to-1 when you're the salt of the earth. Housing offered, row housing offered 1-to-1. The lambda leap and the T right to the end to the big T, which is not G, right? G is little t leaping to big T, but big T is not the same as G. As the tree is fallen down, it's not like the I that falls into the H of the human. But when the T falls down, it's like the cross on an angle. It's like a lean-to, right? The I am falls into human, but the top dog falls into carrying the cross, a lean-to, not a leap-to. The higher or high or, for G, she, love, per ER, and, or the plus symbol, trees, which the tree is the canopy on top, and the channeled energy of the trunk, right? So he's the trunk, she's the canopy on top of the tree. But again, the horizontal and the vertical pillars of the plus sign, which is also and ET. The tree is the human embodiment of source and pointer to the 0 point. But it's up to the human to take the leap. You can lead the dog to water, but you can't make them drink. As the light filters through the trees, the train crosses the bridge. Doubting Thomas, the tank engine, or the little engine that could. Choo-choo! A steam coming out at 12:21, on the right track, pulled into the station. The bullet train has arrived, all because a sparkly Aussie trigger. The stallion, the stall lion, out of the gate. Come on, baby, light my fire, and you send me. So return to sender would be for you to now cross over as well, in the new now moment with the code to the safe place at 12/27, which is today's date. How cool is that? And that was on the 12th. So the next one is the journey, is another message of the day, is the Journey of Love, the Medicine deck, the Shaman deck, and Rider-Waite. So let me just find it for you. Journey. Medicine. Nope, that's not that one. No. Journey Medicine. I have it here. I thought I had it. Journey Medicine. Ah, here it is. All right. So this is this next read. Journey of Love, same setup, the underlying energies, 3 cards out, and the extra cards over here. Journey of Love, the Medicine deck, the Shaman deck, and then the Rider-Waite. And some of these cards are blank, and I've filled in some of them. They're for animals that aren't in the deck that you may resonate with, but I left some of them blank on purpose. And there's also one Divine Feminine card and one Divine Masculine card in that deck. All right. So the piles at the end of each deck came out to 1111, which in Gematria, the first entry is twin flames, and then 4326, which is the 4 and the 3 of the horizontal and the vertical pillars of the plus sign, and the 26, which when you put the 26 together is the butterfly of transformation. And also 26 for me is Newton's cradle, or the 3 balls in the middle with 1 on either end. The twin flame plus sign or grid point to lovers. The joy of the Page of Wands inspiration. The double justice or just ice, or the inner child of the in the temple of justice and justice of he and her, and the lambda leap and boobs and balls. The eagle soaring to conceive and spiral, to chirp, to resonate, vibrating in your ear. The twin flame sound of the tree with the canopy on top. The tree that connects to the root and yet branches out in all directions. Human embodiment and map of intent. The canopy that allows you to see yourself, to see the beauty, but have you checked in with your roots, to remember who you are. Mother Nature allows you to see the beauty expressed, but it comes from a dark place, buried, to force you to feel and hear your whole self before seeing yourself in the light. To know yourself even at night, in the darkest hour before dawn, to be sure you're ready to yawn and stretch, to move, see, and express. The arcs in 4s so that the 3s can soar. The cue of the spiral in the suspended portal of space and time, which is Tai and me, source me, and Sophia's pace, space. The gift of civilization and the human race. 1 and Rho 1, or RH1, O1. His time, tiger with lie on S, Sophia's, her space. Who from man and wisdom of Ea, the tree is topped, but God is not. God is G, is T leaping to T, but it's a parenthesis with little t, and then O, and then I with the other parenthesis. That's what God is, with toi, or you, in the middle. You or little tree leaping to human embodiment on the planet that spins. Planet. ET, like I said, is and. Or the plus sign. A play net, house, lane, and cross. But where's Waldo, number 5? in 11114326, the pi of the angel, or angel food cake, and 3.14 on the 12th, which equals 3, 14, and 12 equals 3.26. Pi angel 3.14 to 6 via Waldo, W, all do or do. The Pisces angel, which then becomes that suspended animation of the bridge, right? The portal and the energy showing one going through the portal, or what looks like a tunnel. W, all do or do, as Pisces angel, as the eagle points to the whispering bench from 4 to 6. And remember, the dash is the salt in the middle. The salt of the earth. Ea's infinite the ear, the better to hear you with, my dear. And love, the big bad wolf who huffs and puffs and blows your house down. The root of all evil, the dog's ancestors, reflecting God. Toi, in parentheses, or pairing of the seas. Pisces. If dog is wolf, then flow is God, as it all appears before your eyes at 4:03. If God is a talking head, or Mr. Ed, then dog is a horse's ass, the other end, or diretsum, or retsum, R-E-Z-S-I-M, which means overhead. So that was pretty funny. So again, then I have at the top of this page the Y in the circle, which is like the Mercedes symbol, and then the plus sign in the circle of salt and pi, and then the X in the circle, which is the turn of the key that locks in place from X to Y, or upside down Y to Y, and then the Y again saying as the third being Y-O-Y. So from the 4 to the 3 with the X in the middle, or rather the X and the Y on either side with the plus sign in the circle in the middle, where X marks the spot. The feminine is the turn of the key to lock it in place, as the masculine says Y-O-Y. The sound, resonance, or amplification of the 1111, and again, the going through the portal, and the plus sign, which is and ET, the butterfly, the apple picked, the transformation apart from what was and now is. The underlying energy of the choice, 62, the 38 of the frog, the 26 of the gathering around, the 7 of cups, 47, and the 8 of swords, imprisoning choice for the Queen of Cups to take the leap, with the Page of Wands inspired by synchronicities and choices that glitter, the release of thoughts for heaven in their eyes. As the cards came up as 6238 to 647, of 6 to 7, made in heaven, to 38 Queen of Cups, to 64 bliss, of Virgo to Libra. Of Virgo to Libra. I don't know what Teddy just saw, a cat or something probably. Virgo to Libra and the Knight of Pentacles spiral to boomerang. As boom, E-rang, boo, om, a wake-up call of Temple Ray, Christ to Ed. The release of the Queen of Cups, who leaps inspired by synchronicities, epiphanies, and unknowns, and so many choices. At 519, which is the Hierophant and the Sun, the underlying energy of the 6 of the Angel of Jupiter Awakened, the 49 of Woman of Light, the 26 of the Guardian of the Soul Family, and 24 the spaces between the words, 64 Central Awakening, and 62 the choice on top. The lovers align to bathe in light and get their wish, a seed to inspire, a reason to breathe in. The Page of Wands and Queen of Wands with no words, mother and child bliss. In Central Awakening and Release, there's always a choice. From 64926246462, we're seeing the reflection of the 64 and the 46th, and the only number will be 2 after that of the 2. The bliss of fond memories and or great pain of the bad memories. 926 and 246, the Hermit to Lover, to two for lovers, and Hermit Page of Wands with High Priestess 6 of Cups, or the 9 of the Hermit and the 46 of the innocent soul ties there, or children, with the 262 in the middle, which comes up in Gematria as Titanic. Flooring, Omicron, Triangle, Clinton, Eugene, and Montana, as the Hermit to Spiral to the 6 of Cups children or memories. The next first card is the 14 of Falling and the 51 of Dream a Little, the 70 of Heaven, and the 46 of Just for a Moment Joy, 58 of Beauty, the Falling Angel, King of Swords, and the release of Feather, which I lost my feather today, to dream a little. Performing I'm in heaven, as I got 2 more wishes as I lost my little feather. And projecting a light that illuminates what you couldn't see. The 6 of Cups and Jumping for Joy, and then Beauty Rest, as the 46 and 58 is 104, and light as a feather spiraling into heaven on earth, being the inner child who manifests as Sleeping Beauty, the 29 of the Spiral Dance of the Goddess in release of the stranglehold, the cord untied, the lasso loose, as the 39 Knight of Cups lets their feminine lead the way, with 29 and 39 coming up here, which is 68, the Page of Pentacles, or the Perpetual Student, the dancing duo of 6 of Cups in the 5D connection, with gifts being the Knight of Cups in birthing of the Divine Feminine. At 540, in the underlying energies is the 39 Knight of Cups Swan, the 17 of the Mountain Lion, 18 of the Lynx, and the Elephant that doesn't have a number because it was a blank card, the 29 of the Badger, the 34 of the Grouse, and the 38 of the Frog. As the Knight of Cups dreams come true, with 17 and 18, the Mountain Lion and the Lynx, or Sphinx, and the Elephant, the cat who roars, and the cat who keeps secrets, the star and the moon of the Temple of Breath, the elephant in the Elephant Walk, the king of the hill and the jungle, and the Sphinx of the desert, but the elephant is the giant of the land. You can't see what the nose knows, as the gift of Badger for aggressive healing, and 34 energetic exchange of the Grouse's sacred spiral within the vortex, the nose's gifts in exchange for the frog's leap and gift of rain, as the Swan 39 and the Frog 38 face now in the same direction. At 551 is the Hierophant and the King of Swords, as the first card out is the 45, the self-reflecting blue heron, and the number 2 of the Hawk, the Messenger, and then the blank card, which is space. Reflecting the High Priestess's message with space to redirect, the 6 of the Snake and the 7 of the Skunk, of 6 to 7, and the Knight of Pentacles transmutation to reputation. The humble loyal servant to transmute toxins and gain respect for protecting the eggs. The Lover's Chariot or 2 of Cups and rebirth. Pisces, Gemini, Cancer here. And loyal bat rebirths. At 611, which is the Lovers and Justice and alignment. That can be urgent need for family or lovers as well. As after the 63 and 54, which are both 9s, under the dream, the winter's dream, and crossing the intersection, or the pregnancy and birth, the 51 King of Swords sits on the bridge with stars in the sky and limitless possibility, with 46 6 of Cups, and the Page of Swords and King of Swords, and the Root Girl, the disowned self and stunted growth, with the Page of Wands inspired to gather with their community, with 54, 51, 46, and 26, which is 177, plus 63 is 240, which is that source support of the 24, which is Omega and enlightenment, and Newton's cradle then coming up. At 6:15, which is my brother's birthday, The first card out here of the Lovers and the Devil, which are the same card of light and dark. The 45 is the 5 of Cups, repairing the veil, binding the pages in forgiveness. The 10 of Deep Diver, destined to dive down deep to the 61 of the Whale's Song, resonating, and Libra perhaps taking a risk. To get over the story and dive right in, the 41 of the Ace of Cups and the Moon Maiden with new beginnings. The 43, 3 of Cups with overflow of good and plenty. The Page of Swords and King of Swords with the 6 of Cups and the Page of Wands, getting over the story in order to take the plunge to the Whale's Song 61, receiving love from joyful gathering, with Pisces fire, Libra, Cancer, and Scorpio. Cancer holding up the daughter as Scorpio overflows with emotion for them, or jets in. Jets in. And the Jetsons coming up. As 622 is the 7 of Cups upright, after the 5 of Wands and 9 of Cups reversed, fighting through dissatisfaction to be free from being stuck with no movement at all. With Justice upright and the Knight of Swords reversed, Aries upright, Cancer reversed, and Libra upright, or judge and jury trying to make them feel bad. The 9 of Pentacles sovereign faces fears of the Queen of Pentacles reversed, carrying too much weight or burden, and may fall or trip or be knocked for a loop by love given from the Page of Pentacles, student of the 10 of Pentacles, family, business, or community, or institution, or perhaps at night school, or howling at night, and starting over, getting out of Dodge after not being heard while trying to recover in hospital, or away from a religious marriage or institution or contracts, with Taurus upright and the assessments of the powers that be, and the Queen of Swords to forgive and heal hearts, needing strength, good health, and courage at Lionsgate, to let go, fix up, make amends, lay it all out on the table, or spend what's left on the rainbow bridge of the 10 of Cups, to lovers reversed X, or those without affection, and standing up to rise and be love, as the Knight of Cups to Empress, both upright, and the High Priestess reversed, or sister trapped, or anxiety between the High Priestess or higher self and the King of Pentacles reversed, or both imprisoned by frustration, no growth, creative blocks, and or no peace. In a split or divide at 633, or the King of Cups, composed but prepared to pull their sword if necessary, perhaps tempted to pull 10, or tempted to get a massage or acupuncture with the Queen of Cups upright, or a lot of pain and codependency between the King of Cups and the Queen of Cups, but they're both upright here. The King of Swords reversed is losing patience and stressed out between work and home, with the Queen of Wands reversed, with friends over in the past, and sharing or settling out, keeping the golden goose in check. Or the Queen of Wands reversed, showing up without a gift and ready to receive or spin the wheel, with the Knight of Wands reversed. Or the Knight of Wands reversed, Libra, is losing their mind or falling short in the eyes of the world, their neighbor, the Divine Feminine, or Pisces, whole and naked to the world. With Libra upright, Sag reversed, and Virgo reversed, Pisces upright, and Leo reversed, or cycle complete, in great need of vacation, or kids out of control, on break, or need to nap and surrender without choice before sudden event or surprise. As the Page of Wands, perhaps a fiery Scorpio, and the 8 of Pentacles reversed, overworked, King of Wands reversed, or perhaps he's not working at all, or it's not working out between the Page of Wands upright and the King of Wands reversed, where the King of Wands is awake to the manipulation, or Pisces or Capricorn reversed, and Gemini or Virgo reversed, causing delays or constant arguing with Scorpio upright, or about a death or ending. Or dark night blocked by the Knight of Pentacles reverse, stubborn mule, or one in fear or disabled, unable to move or on strike, and turning around, offering the Ace of Pentacles to their dreams, or all the things they love, too many to choose from. Perhaps the Knight of Pentacles reverse is trying to prove how many other options they have, and bragging to the Dark Knight. But Dark Knight won't stop until they get to the 6 of Cups soul tie, the dream girl, or making kids' dreams come true. Uncomfortable with partner, an Emperor upright, annoyed, and making an announcement, or having to make calls, or call all the shots or decisions, being very clear under the radar, with the Page of Cups sweetheart, or puppy love. with Aquarius, Aries, and perhaps another Aquarius all upright in a row, or needy Page of Cups upright to repair their reputation, or needing them to, or Scorpio doing whatever they have to get to Pisces, even if it means the Emperor views them in a negative light. As the Knight of Cups and Queen of Cups are inspired to dream here, two angels healing and tying the pages back together. The King of Swords and High Priestess, Libra and or Aquarius, or King of Swords and Pisces, or Virgo Dream Girl, in heavenly space performing with lover, nesting in portal of whole, uncomfortable. Uncomfortable not being able to walk away whenever they want. The Six of Cups is joyful with family nesting with love of the Two of Cups, and the beauty of the Divine Feminine Chariot and Cancer, 1-1, 2, and 3, with lots of watery love here. The Ace of Cups, Two of Cups, Three of Cups, as the Emperor calls the shots, but the Page of Cups is the real boss, the talking head, Ed, and the caboose, who's overhead, at 7:04, which is that sweet spot, 4 to 7. Okay, so on the 13th, we're down on the farm, as the underlying energy was the farm with the masculine and feminine back to back, and then the father and the spouse. The first card out is the Orphan, and this is 11:25, which is the alignment of the Knight of Wands. The first card is the Orphan, and then Forgiveness, then Galactic, Persecution and Inquisition of the masculine and feminine back to back. The father, Sophia's, instead of spouse, was coming up as Pause or Poos, which is a pause or rest, stop to land, growth and pulse. Each inner child connects with Father. The infinite urgent Fa, or Do, Re, Mi, Fa, the fourth, the finger in your spine, while Sophia connects down on the farm. The farm is Fa, fourth, RM, the fourth note, our mother, with infinite urgent MO, the map of human intent. The F, R, M, where the F is digamma twin flames, R, the 1v1 of co-creation, where Fa is the fourth diatonic or sixth chromatic note of the major scale. A go, to die, and firm. The F, clef or key, and the Lord, digamma alpha, and Fa, Mo, feminine, masculine, the Fa of twin flame alpha rocket, and the twin flame E of the small child that's insignificant. The MO of the co-creator, Omega, from Ega, and the small quantity from the Phoenician H, which looks like a backward E falling down. The temple energy and 1 equal and congruent to. The Fa and Ma of father and mother, the Mo and Fi of Femo. Fama is fame, and Femo is woman and wife. Fama is reputation and name and rumor. And Femo is to fertilize with manure. Where Ma Fa of mother and father is paternal grandfather, ancestor old man, burial place, cemetery, father's son, and burial place. And this dies with me. Whereas the Mo Fi is the mitten, to taunt. The intent of iron, the iron will, and the noir iron, which is like the dark iron. Seaweed, parrot, and to want, and pelican came up on the feminine side there. The M is the 1v1, and M is a 4, it's 13/4, which we're on the 13th. 1v1 is co-creation, but also equals 111, and the pi symbol of parentheses with the 1 in the middle, because the C's are 1s. They're the arc between the two dots or points. And the abbreviation for the pi symbol, which used to be M, is D. It's the one-sided pi symbol, which equals the MO, which equals the dough. She is dough with ray from me, twin flame rocket, 4th and 6th, firm, gone. If God is the talking head, Mr. Ed, then dog is the retsum, overhead. The God is actually the feminine lioness with mane who likes to talk and get the last word. And dog is the boy frustrated, the tiger who's overhead, which I had posted on Instagram. The male versus female reaching out for father with spouse down on the farm, Mr. and Mrs. Ed under her umbrella, where feminine and masculine, mother, father, or feminine and masculine just are the farm of F, R, and M. They're the R in the middle of father and mother. At 122, the hippocampus, the horse farm, where the first card here is the orphan forgives for being left behind, the galactic or gal act of the inner child, Georgia angel, or gala, source, sourcing the inner child, the little t leaping to Allah, to then leap to the T, the inner child. Little t leaps to big T, and big T leaps right back, she allowing the persecution to happen. Still hung out to dry, as I was guided to break down persecution and inquisition. And on this page I also wrote the skull. This is another wound that comes up for us. We always see the skull as something scary and evil, but it's us. So you need to flip that, right? Because you're thinking your skull is evil. All right, so flip that. Persecution is per, C, Q, and then the tie-in of the tiger lioness. The Q is conception of birth. And per is the sudden event, to see. In the Q, U is I tie on. In conception, U is I am, tie on. She forgives, they know not what they do. That was at 129, which is the magician and the gift. And then the Antakarana bridge, which I did a couple posts of that, where Antakarana is the an of one and the na of not one, with takara in the middle, which means treasure. So that was perfect as well. The 12th ray, so then the underlying energy of Kuan Yin was coming up. And the amethyst skull, right? So how perfect was that? But I'm not going to go through all that read, because I have a lot more to go yet. And sewing was coming up too. Like, so all perspectives of sewing, whether you're stitching with a needle, whether you're reaping and sewing, whether you're binding the pages together, all that kind of energy was coming up strongly on the 13th. Okay, then we go, I'm not going to read this whole one either, but this, what wanted to come up here on the 14th is that we were still clearing Egypt and the hippocampus, which means seahorse, but is also the horse farm, in serious alignment with marriage and father. And again, I kept getting the father needing to align with the masculine needing to align with the father. Because the feminine's automatically connected with the mother because she carries the womb. But the father, in living life after death, must, with his intent, connect to father. The heart act of flowers and the 5D station at the mountain. And again, the closing of the Olympics was coming at that point as well. Let's see here. Okay, so on the 15th, at 11:11, I'd pulled baby in the underlying energy from the past life deck, and then the first card out was wars and battles. And then I pulled the chariot with the first card transformation, and then they pulled the deer card from another deck with salmon, that's the medicine deck, with the salmon being the first card out. And it was coming up as after biblical carpenter traveling, mother and baby, and civil wars over child, and the 32 of transformation with the chariot, of course that means travel or movement. After the 21 moon, the 11 flowers, the 22 mountain, 17 love, and the 6 of the chariot. Then the salmon, which always returns home. The 31 of the turkey. the blank card with space between, the 42 of the bat, the 4 of the deer one, and after the 19 buffalo, the 7 of the skunk, the 30 of the rabbit, and 27 of the dragonfly. So while the carpenter is leaving or traveling, leaving mother and 2 kids, or one a baby in a basket, still in nest looking for both parents, in a civil war and feeling the anxiety. The daughter moon, or Pisces, escorted by stars, the pink flowers, or flowers, in Pisces, Cancer, Libra, or Libra alignment here. The pink aura around the moon, the gate of 6D holders, from 21 to 22, the old world to the leap of faith, from Pisces to Aries, the moon and world to the mountain, the remembrance of the mother and daughter, the dreams of love, and the Cinderella family chariot that sparkles, that would always sparkle before, the 32 journey of transformation and the breaking of the chains to rebuild a natural bridge where land meets sea, meets sky, meets the I am, breathing a wave, a digamma wave. We're Sirius and Venus coming up here, as Sirius is the dog or wolf, the moon dog or coyote. And this was coming up from Alice Sparkly Cat, KAT.com. Sirius from Osiris, who replaced Anubis, another dog, as god of the underworld. Their clients often connect with Sirius, aspecting the lone wolf. Sirius aspecting moon creates a sense of cultural alienation. The Sirius people live in the in-between, like immigrants. To something for straights. Oh, to something for straights, not queer enough for queers, to I can't read my writing. Regarding the family or to other for their chosen family. The intersectionality that Sirius deals with memory or fabricated simulations memory. The USA country and Sun, Sea, Sirius, where the mutts come together, us. The dog star is about home, companions who wander, all different breeds. In quote-unquote, they called it the liberal wound culture, where the sun is power and familiar, and the moon is borders and foreign. And again, the Sirius strongly connected to the moon here, according to that site. At 11:38, which is the Queen of Cups and the 11 of Justice, after the Sun and Stinky Vehicle, or Leo and Cancer, and Scared Rabbit, and again, the Sirius being related to the moon was coming up with Venus as well. Venus was coming up as the pink aura. The Scared Rabbit at home of Dragonfly and turning down a passionate offer from the group. The turkey in the medicine deck is considered the giveaway, right? He's sacrificing himself for the whole. The group willing to sacrifice and leaving the blank space for the 42 or 2 of Cups bat and the 4 or Emperor deer to see, space to dwell, with the 2 of Cups and Emperor as the lamb to father that then leaps away from them, with Leo, Cancer, and Aries here. The Emperor and the group, where the group goes to war and sacrifices on the Emperor's behalf, always leaving space for dear one to come home to Honey Bunny. As the 49 of 9 of Cups and the salmon who always returns home to find self-satisfaction, acceptance, and love, but also swims upstream to find their way to break the patterns of codependency, forging new paths yet always returning home, aligning with miracles. The baby in the nest, the birdie in the Cinderella's family chariot, delivered to the Emperor, the dear one, 6 and 4. Remember the and is the plus sign and ET as well. The one in the middle, the family loves versus stability of home, and the 5 of change between them, the sweet spot. Today's all about 4s, this was the 15th, and yet 31/4 today is the 5 of wands, where stability is no more in the pursuit of happiness. Okay, and I'd posted Leo right after that. Okay, so let's get to the next. All right, so the next one is, am I doing this one? No. I'm not going to do that one because I'm going to do the more recent one since we're already long. What time is it? It's 1:56, but my device did not cut out on me today, so that is a good thing. So the Knight of Cups journey. Where's my thingy here? The Knight of Cups journey and rebirth from chaos to order, soaring to one as the Knight of Cups and the Knight of Cups, with the 28 of the twin flame choice of path between them. A double journey of victory. There's no losers here. Her harvest in giving the King of Wands Atlas a break, gifting some order to dreams come true, a magical healing awakening to calling, rags to riches, after the Metroliner speed rail to high vibe train, or T-rain, terrain, and G-rail of the Grail, the etheric tunneling effect. The small piece of the earth and small feathers of the hawk as terrain, and G-rail, as I read it back today, was Gmail, in the field of dreams and the freedom train. The breath of the squaring of the circle then came up. Breath was the underlying energy, and the squaring of the circle is about mastering the 4, right? Having mastered the 4 suits, having mastered the 4 seasons, the 4 directions, etc. And the number 2 of intention. The celestial messengers, we shall wander in immensity, and the stars will be our gleaming ships. Eliphas Levi, all right, so Eli Levi, the key to the great mysteries, mastery over our inner and outer operations, above and below, within and without, one with all 4, where vision is whole and transitions of time are fully appreciated. I am one with seasons, directions, and sky. I'm complete in my understanding of the infinite and perfect why. The square of the circle and gold in the eye, the 2 of intention. This mind is the matrix of all matter. Max Planck, the ego, will, versus intention and allowance. So after this, my 4 New Years were coming up again, April 9th, July 18th, 10/26, and February 3rd of next year, the A to Z's of 26. And the each of those dates, so 4/9/24 adds up to 21, 7/18/24 adds up to 33, 10/26 adds up to 44, and then February 3rd, 2025 adds up to 14. So the number 21, 33, 44, 14. So you notice the 33, 44 of my business in the middle there, but also what we talked about before of her harvest and the Christ energy of the bridge. And unity comes up with this. Excuse me. As unity comes up with this, with the circle with the dot in the middle of the singularity, and then the circle with the Y in the middle, which one represents the channeling, and the other represents everything around that. Right? The Y is all roads lead home, where the circle is everything else. The mother of space and the father of time, in half time of 2 or 4, where the Y is the trigger to the X's dance, who apostrophizes the unbound state, the path the woman faces, and the second coming of her harvest of Z, Because remember, N is the Christ consciousness, and N knocked down is Z, and is 26, the 26th letter. Whole and complete to one, the divine feminine, divine masculine, and Pisces, of 3, 3, and 4, 4, or 2 eagles, and the 2 phoenix, which become together 2 dragonflies, and the Christ bridge of Atlas and her harvest, and the 77 of the sovereign. 2 and 1 to 1 plus 4. The divine feminine and masculine become one with all 4. 2, 3 in the middle. And then dash 3, which is the horizontal eagle that soars along the tail. It becomes the salt of the earth in the middle. And again, the 2 worlds that I'd done this before, where when the Vesica Pisces comes together, but not all the way to the center, where the overlapping part is 72 degrees and 72 degrees on top of each other, and then the other 2 sections on each side, like a ladybug, are 144 and 144 on each side, which then equals 720. Or 2 worlds, right? Because each circle is 360 degrees, so it equals to 720 degrees of the 2 worlds coming together. And 36 again is the 10 of Wands, or the Atlas energy, and the 72 is the 4 of Pentacles, which for me in this deck, the SIRIAN Starseed deck, is the divine masculine in the crystal bat cave. So the numbers, the 4, 9, 7, 18, 10, 26, and 2, 3 come up as 21, 33, 44, and 14, and 21 is Pisces, 33 is March, 44 is April, and 14 is Sagittarius. And the 4 numbers equal 112, and we're coming up as 2, 1, 3, 3, 4, 4, 1, 4, where 1 and 2 become 2 and 3, and 1 with 4, the set is complete. I looked up 112 in Gematria, where the first entry is Libra, and then book, and then rigged and sick and flare. Mana also was number 12. High, bad, Marla, fate, Carla, or Mara and Carla both came up, and Rebel came up as well. And Rama and Amar and Geese and Hanging and Galileo. He is Abril, Holly, Feral, and Hidden Gem. And Feral means wild and untamed, and Funeral, deadly or fatal. And Balder came up there too, as well as Ochoa, which means wolf. So there's the wolf again. 2, 3, 4, 1 is the new beginning with the King of Cups and the Ace of Cups. 1, 3, 4, 4 is in overtime. Skipped 2 of Death and the 4 of Cups, Atlas and Hercules. Mastered passions to receive love in the transition to her harvest. Pisces March to April with Sag or Union. Aries Ramsgate Union is April. Pisces March in March to April, which is Ramsgate, and Sag Union, the Earth of the and the 4D bridge to the Atlas/Hercules patient angels of the masculine feminine. 54 to 58 of the Page of Swords message to the 5D connection awakening, the 1 to 4 that makes space for the second coming of 2, 3 to 4, 4. All right, so that last New Year's on February 3rd through to Ramsgate 4, 4, which is also the 44. In jamming through April. January through April. So the 1 to 4 was coming up as January, February, March, April, like a time period. As 2, 1, 3, 3, 4, 4, and then 1, 4 is the gate holders with 33, 44 in the middle, and then 2 and 4 on either end. The 2 and 4 of Omega, and the 133 and 441. And they were just coming up as I am home. December 11 times. DEC 11, it was written 11 times, came up there in Gematria for 133. And then I am home, and then 37, 12 by 12 equals 144. So referencing those December plus 11 times, which is then 12. I am home. And 4 was coming up as game on. The Q, which is the 2, and then the colon, and then the 2 3s, which are the 2 eagles flying, which was coming up as the equal sign, and the 2 4s as the 11, because they're both vertical, and then the colon, and then the L, and again 1, which is again the leap of the Empress and the Emperor. The higher self conceives equal to 11, or alignment, equal and aligns with the lambda leap. The Q colon is the eagle soaring and the lambda leaping, as the L and the I come together to make the U, or the Holy Grail. Right? The Q is the conception, the U is the Holy Grail on either side. Who leaps in, as within, so without, as above, so below. Right? The Q leaps in, the LI or U then leaps out. The womb and the Holy Grail. The 2 U's of Om and B, and the H of the 1-to-1, and the T, the little t that leaps to the big G, the leap ray, in the chakra L, or the subway. So then the letters of, where they come up? The letters of Aries, Cancer, Scorpio, and Aquarius came up as ACSA, which is the Christus Sophia in between the A and the A, which is basically 2 rockets blasting off. As Aries arises as the Emperor and Hermit, without and within, the Cancer is Cancer, the Chariot and the Moon, and all Cancer romance. The Scorpio as whispering the answer, Sophia Corp, I am. The Wheel and the Page of Wands inspired Libra there. The A of Aquarius, of emotion of laughter, the higher self and the Empress and the Soul Mother. And then Sirius coming up at the bottom as Sir Jesus, of course, as Aquarius rises, because Aquarius is Aqua and Rius, the emotion of laughter, because Aqua are Eus. So again, are us. So the Toys R Us thing coming up again. As emotions are Jesus, are us, or Sir Eus, Sirius. So ACSA and 2 rockets with Christos Sophia in the middle, or that Christ consciousness bridge. The 3344 of the Christed Atlas and Hercules, anointing of Ed. Atlas is her harvest. 2 dashes and 2 lines, 2 dashers and 2 lions. 2 eagles rise from the ashes as phoenix and become 2 dragonflies as one heart. And you know, dragonflies mate as a heart. And the leaping every 4 years was coming up as well, with the leap year. The 21 of the naked feminine and the 14 of the dressed angel divine masculine, right? Dressed to the hilt and naked feminine to the world. And February 1st and the 14th were coming up there, where she bears all and he's dressed to kill. And the housing at the gate, the new leap. To leap Q4 years. So it's like the leap year is a special portal of time, right, where things can happen. The 888 this year, then the next 4 years would be 12, 12, 12 in 2028, and then 32, which would then be again 777 in July of the lovers. That's the Valentine's Day special. 4 years, 4 seasons, 4 months, 4 weeks, 4 days, 4 hours, 4 minutes, 4 seconds of 4, 8 times, which is 32, of 1 to 4 and 5 to 8 and 9 to 12. So again, the year being sectioned off into 3 sections, which in numerology they do that as well. In the Divine Triangle book, you can buy that if you'd like to. Yeah, okay. So So let's see what I have left for you. Let's see where this read is. Okay. I don't want to get this too long. All right, this one's just a page. So the baby came up this day on the 17th. The first card out was knighthood and Greco-Roman, biblical and Asia, imprisonment, after the underlying energy of Egypt, unrequited love, and the monk or nun, transported love life, scribe, and the arts, with the high priestess and the baby both with their hands up. The high priestess praying for baby in the basket with their parents, the little birdie, the child, the pet, the nest. The first card here with the knighthood and protection in the Greek portal of Romans and JC, the biblical carpenter building the fourth leg of the bench to whisper with Asia Minor, which is Turkey, and or Tibet with Buddha, and imprisonment, the Dalai Lama. The Knights of the Round Table and the Olympians, and biblical times with Asia, or as Ea, to experience imprisonment and slavery. As Mary Magdalene takes another route of chastity, prayer, and transported from the arts and children, the nun and healer, after Egyptian unrequited love. The energy of Atlantis versus Lemuria, of 5D Lemuria versus 5D 3D Atlantis, and Lemuria is smaller, and the relationship of Ea to Jesus, as the Ten of Wands upright, Gemini reversed and Lovers reversed, Sag reversed, and Temperance upright, High Priestess reversed with Pisces reversed, the Six of Pentacles, sharing with the Hierophant and the powers that be, religion and the war within, stress and worry, suffering and silence, lack of sleep and nightmares, as the underlying energy is the Page of Pentacles, with the Queen of Cups and Two of Swords reversed, the Knight of Cups reversed, the Knight of Wands upright, the Chariot upright, and the Page of Pentacles upright. The Queen of Cups upright with clarity on the Knight of Cups reversed, or making herself very clear with the Knight of Cups regarding unrequited love and rejection in the past, with the Wounded Warrior Nine of Wands versus Page of Pentacles on the Ascension path, the victim versus the student of life, and the perspective of big movement to be dark or light. An invite, an opportunity, a student in school, studying as the Knight of Cups reversed, destined to have the Wounded Warrior path and become the student of Christ consciousness, to see the details in the crystal light. Atlas and the weight, the burdens and responsibility, by breakup with patient angel and secret passion, or patient for secrets to come out. One burdened by rejection and yet patient for secrets to come out, needing to use their intuition in a need for affection, sharing or being charitable with societal norms and tradition, guidance, religion, God, mastering the hidden house, or facing fears and stress of the mind. Laborers patient in need of affection, for the High Priestess reversed to come out, a need for divine love and intuition, in a breakup awakened to higher love. The nun reversed versus the priest facing fears of suffering and silence, or perhaps of the sister. The Jesus with Atlas and the map of intent, or nurses in the past seen as whores here, and working way back into patient secret passions of the heart. The slave over the quote-unquote man, the star-crossed lovers and patient angels over the war, and the High Priestess reversed over the suffering and silence, done with obsessive thoughts about what's right and wrong, what's dirty and clean, what's sinful and honorable, as the virgin who marries and non-virgin shunned by the church, as knights in carpenter and dark night of the soul, or the soul of the shoe, shoes versus no shoes, souls versus no souls, imprisonments of the mind, protector and builders, building to protect, or carpenter out of the love for it, the student of the weight of the world, Atlas and Hercules, her harvest, as those powers at war can no longer sleep at night. What have I done? In response to, they know not what they do. Not Father, Father, from the Black Eyed Peas, where is the love, but Father, Mother. The love is with Mother and Father. The underlying energy of the moon with the Eight of Swords upright in the background. Distant anxieties at night, or the now full moon. With the Page of Pentacles coming full circle, almost done. A bit more energetic exchange with the High Priestess to end concerns or worry, as the Queen of Pentacles reversed is ungrounded, but recovering with the Page of Wands reversed, in the inequity of overwhelm of a breakup, as the King of Swords is ending pain, or in a painful end, or perhaps getting a massage, as the Nine of Pentacles sovereign and the Hermit reversed healing heart, as the King of Pentacles is strong, or with pet, and or a lot of affection for dark night or transformation. Scorpio split or divided by temptation, or Capricorn is calling, addictions causing a wake-up call. All right, that one I'm going to have to skip because I want to give you the read on the table. Yeah. Let's see if there's anything else I missed. I think I caught up, you guys. I think I did. Now if I can just find where your read is on the table, then we're good to go. Yeah. Also the pairing of God to gold, right? God to gold and word to world, adding the L. It's all about the 90-degree angle, right from left, or left at the right angle. Top dog reflects God pot, or gold, which is God, the Ancient One. Hi, honey. All right, let's just get this one last read here. Medicine came up too. I ended up breaking down medicine again. Me, Ed, medicine, all that came up again. And then now we have the read on the table. Let's just show you that one. And that one is here. Okay, so on the table, we have this read here. So it's the SIRIAN Starseed deck with the Rider-Waite clarifiers. And this is from the 23rd for the Twin Flames. And again, remember the inner child. It looks like that's an eyeball staring out from the building on the right. That's weird. And it's reflecting the moon in my pyramid there. That's crazy. Do you see that? This was cut at 9:11 on the 23rd, and I finished at 9:21 clarifying. We have the transition as the only major arcana in the read, the main part of the read, which is usually we have more than one. It's rare that we don't have any. So transitions up there, which is the Death card. And then before the read, the Ascension card, which is the World, and after the read is the Higher Self, which is the High Priestess, Karma, which is the Judgment card, Strength, and Reflection, which is the Hermit. There were 5 Pentacles, 3 Cups, 2 Swords, and the 9 of Pentacles, Sovereign, the Page of Swords, King of Swords, Queen of Cups, and Knight of Pentacles were all in the read. Prior to the read was the 9 of Wands, Wounded Warrior, and the Knight of Wands, and no court cards after the read. As far as the numbers, we had double 5s, 9s, and 10s. The double 5 is the Ace of Swords. The 9-9 is Major Compassion, or Agent 99, which came up. And then 10-10 is that very high vibration. And we also had 2 and 3, which is the King of Wands, 35, which is the Wounded Warrior, 56 of the 2 of Swords, 68 of the Page of Pentacles, and 89, which is 5 for me, expanding, contracting, or staying in the middle. We also have 8, 9, 10 here, begin again. So the code line was all about the number 35, which was coming from 9, 10, 5, 6, and 5, which is 35 is the 9 of Wands. And the code line came up as Christed, After Death TV, the 9, of course, or the Hermit, the 10 of the Sea, and then 5 wise queens seek the support of 5 knights. Over and above, just before telepathic vision or tree of creation, the top dog version, the Hermit of Unity Consciousness, the high vibration, of course, the fast 5 queens seek sharing support with the 5 Knight of Pentacles ready to propose. We start with the 9 of Pentacles reversed, and beneath that is the 9 of Wands, Knight of Wands, Ascension, 10 of Swords, and the 2 of Cups, all upright. The Wounded Warrior and Knight of Wands ascending to end the pain, 1-to-1, powerless and dependent, as the Knight of Pentacles reversed is stuck and unable to function. The Queen of Wands is with the King of Swords, who's reversed, face to face, grounding and integrating the moment. With the King of Pentacles reversed and the Death card reversed, perhaps floored when he sees a star, or exhausted by fame. A dream come true with the King of Cups reversed, the 9 of Pentacles reversed, and Knight of Pentacles reversed, the King of Cups reversed. All 4 kings in this read were reversed, by the way, with Pisces upright, Scorpio reversed, and Aquarius upright there. The recent past is the Page of Swords, whole and complete and ready to stand up and defend, reaping rewards, assessing worth, not sleeping after falling out, with the Queen of Pentacles upright, and the foundation of the 10 of Pentacles in need of strength or courage for dreams, of the 10 of Pentacles, choices of abundance, families, business, community, from the past, keeping to self out in the cold, as the central energy here is the 8 of Cups reversed, uncomfortable in coming clean and holding back before coming together and insecure. The Page of Swords stepping up to be present with the Emperor reversed or Father, both fully vulnerable, as the challenge being the 6 of Pentacles reversed and the inequity, the need for balance, the Knight of Swords upright, ready to drop the act, sad with the King of Wands reversed, turning their back, and now the transition reversed, the impatient Queen of Cups reversed with guarded Wounded Warrior, fearing the worst, laying it all on the table to marry, home, union, or dissatisfied and not sharing before coming together and falling short of the Empress upright here. Soon as the King of Swords reversed in a split, defeated at night after no peace at day, receiving new passion from work and going crazy, coming out. The twin flames seeing themselves as the 5 of Pentacles here. The lovers out in the cold, swept away and fell hard. The injustice of the announcement, the wake-up call. The Knight of Cups to the Knight of Pentacles reversed, rendering them powerless to happy families, release, to destiny of secret passion with the Page of Cups upright. Around the twins, or how they're seen here, is the Queen of Cups reversed, who's uncomfortable with the temptation of receiving love in a bold move, or maybe feeling pushed, just because it's such a strong, bold move. The block here is the 5 of Cups and the disappointment of the Queen of Swords upright on a quest, and the Knight of Pentacles reversed, lover's confession, and the Page of Wands, healing heart, to rise above and end the pain of spiritual drama, to see another way, to be wise when the Knight of Wands rushes in while studying on an opportunity to end the inner war. The Knight of Pentacles reversed now can heal with secret passion in a wake-up call, with strength reversed and reflection reversed, to be strong and courageous and to come out, a need to birth and reflect, with Gemini upright, Taurus reversed, Scorpio reversed, and Pisces or Capricorn upright here. 2 of Cups no longer alone, with the 10 of Pentacles upright, family, business, or community, and the 5 of Pentacles, rich man, poor man, and the Queen of Cups reversed with a message, uncomfortable staying and not sharing, as the King of Swords is reversed and sad, to not transition, with the Knight of Pentacles reversed. So I'm going to leave it at that because it was a lot to take in. I don't think there's anything else here I wanted to touch on. Nope, I got everything. Yay, we're all caught up. So I definitely have to give you a closing card. And I haven't pulled from my deck. Where is it? In a while. I don't know where I put that. I'm going to pull you a card from the Nirvana, the Modern Nirvana Oracle, and we'll read it to you, okay? Actually, I pull you a medicine card too. Let's see what comes up. Nirvana. All right, for the twin flames, for the best and highest good of all those concerned, what is the closing message here for them? Oh, that was a little chunk. The bottom of the deck is discernment, and there's the eye. As I told you, there was an eye right there that's reflecting that moon in there. And oh my God, look, that's crazy. They're two different decks, and it looks like that one. All right, these are stuck together too. All right, we have reciprocity, we have emptiness, we have synthesis, nourishment, and there's that boat in the canoe alone. And they all came out together. So the reciprocity of the emptiness, right? Whatever you're feeling, the other is too. And the synthesis, or bringing those together through nourishment in the canoe, the whispering bench. So we're going to read reciprocity and see what that says for you. And remember the discernment of the eye and the underlying energies. Reciprocity. It says, the best way to find yourself is to lose yourself in the service of others. And that's a quote from Mahatma Gandhi. When you switch from the paradigm of self-serving to that of helping others, success, value, and purpose will almost always follow in direct response to the goodwill you offer to the world. When you enter into this deal, you inspire the energy of reciprocity, which is a cycle of positive action and an exchange of kindness begetting even more kindness. Even something that may seem mundane, like inputting numbers into a spreadsheet day in and day out, when offered with the intention to serve, shifts into something meaningful and fulfilling. Even something as simple as helping someone with their groceries, opening a door, or offering assistance in what may feel like a small way can have a big impact on someone's life. Martin Luther King Jr. said, "Not everyone can be famous, but everyone can be great, because greatness is determined by service." In a world where many will admire others for nothing more than being famous, the truth is, 10 years from now, most of us won't be able to name the cast of our favorite reality show, but we'll still remember Mother Teresa and Mahatma Gandhi because of their life's impact and service to humanity. Selflessness withstands the test of time. Every life you touch creates a potential for more kindness to emerge. Reciprocity comes in response to the new cycles you'll inspire through acts of loving kindness, like the seed of hope that springs from the flower only to sprout roots and allow life to blossom again in time. When you offer a flickering of hope when things may feel hopeless, you help to breathe more beauty and love into the world, which is desperately needed. Every bit of impact you make in your life matters. There's no use in comparing yourself to others when it comes to your own acts of kindness and how you choose to give back to the world. There are great souls all over the planet who are changing lives, helping others, planting trees, and regenerating the environment, and we will never get to know their names. Their greatness is measured by the weight of their actions and their ripple of impact, not by the size of their social media following. Take the situation you're dealing with today, or whatever issue may be before you, and dedicate it to the intention of reciprocity. Then watch what happens in the days ahead. Pay it forward, and what comes back to you will be a spiritual treasure that is absolutely priceless. The mantra is, I care for the well-being of others. I practice acts of selflessness and kindness in assistance to my universal sisters and brothers. So there is your message. Beautiful read. Okay, so let me know any questions or comments you have down below, and I will definitely see you next time. Remember your water, your rest, your joy, your nature. Take advantage of the warm weather if that's where you are before it's no more. Appreciate Mother Nature. And of course, rise and be loved. I'll see you next time, guys. Have an amazing day. Bye.